what is your message to the hostage families and the hostages themselves who are wondering 1 year into this whether they'll ever get to come home?
This is an absolutely brutal and open wound marker of a day, 1 year held in captivity in tunnels, no communication with family, no access to proper food, water, or even air in some cases. And we have a very clear message to the hostages. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. We are fighting for you. We are working to bring you home. We are working alongside the Israeli government and an international community, certainly to our fellow Americans. You are the heartbeat of what we are working on in the Congress. Just last November, we passed a resolution to condemn Hamas, to call for the release of the hostages, and it was voted on 414-0. Every voting member of Congress that day called for the release of the hostages. And of course, to the families, these brave, courageous, admirable families. I was on a Zoom earlier today with Aviva Siegel, whose husband, Keith, is still remained in captivity. Aviva was there herself for 51 days. It is absolutely harrowing to hear her story, and yet she continues to tell it. The families continue to show up. They continue to advocate. And this was an attack on October 7th on all of humanity, on free humans, human beings going to music concerts, living in their homes, who were taken. Yeah. We have a non-state actor, Kailey, who we cannot really easily negotiate with. We were misled 51 days into this, certainly as a population, that they seemed like they could negotiate, Hamas, but they don't care. They do not care, and that is why about a month and a half ago, they murdered in cold blood 6 hostages who had been in those tunnels. One American, Hirsch Goldberg Poland, whose family is absolutely remarkable and who I was so pleased to see featured at the Democrat National Convention.
Yeah, we do think of the families, Congresswoman, having learned today. Eden Stivy, a 28-year-old who was kidnapped from the Nova Music Festival, has been declared dead in absentia, according to the Prime Minister. We spoke earlier today on the early edition of Balance of Power with Democratic Congressman Brad Schneider, your colleague from Illinois. Here's what he had to say about the likelihood of a resolution and what might be facing the next president.
It's hard to imagine that a resolution is on the near horizon. As was mentioned, I don't think I'd call it a widening conflict in the region. Hezbollah started firing rockets at Israel on October 8th. The Houthis from Yemen, Iran has launched 2 strikes in April and on October 1st. It's certainly escalating, and it's hard to imagine that it'll be resolved within the next 4 weeks.
With that said, we advance to the next president here, Congresswoman. Will the White House, will the administration, the U.S. government have more influence over outcomes at that point?
Well, I think we've seen some of the limitations that we have faced in this regard, even with the full force and weight of a presidential administration and the Congress working towards an outcome to free the hostages and reach a just end to this war. And at every turn, Hamas has rejected, Hamas has doubled down. They've overseen the killing of their own civilians in Gaza, innocent Palestinians. And it's just way too much suffering. It is a reminder of what jihad terrorism looks like and why we need to stand by democratic allies. Today's a reminder of who started this war. And I had the very profound opportunity following from the announcement, the tragic announcement that Hirsch Goldberg Poland and 5 others were murdered, to talk to Vice President Harris about that and to thank her for her statement and her actions and for speaking out. And she immediately jumped on what I was saying, gave me some key updates, let me know that she had just left the White House, as a matter of fact, and had been working on this issue while she's now in Michigan on a brief campaign stop. And every time I've talked to the Biden-Harris administration, they have been so laser focused. Biden with his foreign policy expertise, and certainly Kamala Harris showing everyone in the debate that she had with her competitor what a grasp she has of foreign policy. That is who we need standing up to Putin. That is who we need standing up to Hamas and to continue to bring together the world order alongside our democratic allies. And I couldn't be more proud to be supporting her election here in Michigan and across the country. And I know her leadership will not bring chaos, will not bring confusion, will bring clarity and consistency and the firmness we need to bring these hostages home.
Well, Congresswoman, while Harris may have your support, she does not have the support of everyone, including the Abandoned Harris Group, which today decided to endorse Jill Stein, and in a statement in part said our movement remains dedicated to ensuring that the American people, especially the Muslim American community, recognize the responsibility we share in standing up against oppression and using all our power to stop genocide. There are still those in Michigan, Congresswoman, who find that Kamala Harris has not done enough to stop what they see is genocide. How many votes could she lose over this ongoing conflict in the Middle East?
Well, allow me to speak from my perch of Oakland County, Michigan, in Michigan's 11th district that will certainly cast a very large number of votes, probably the highest number of votes in this presidential election. I have not seen one Jill Stein sign in my district. I did see 2 RFK signs earlier in the cycle. They're now gone. I am crisscrossing my district on a regular basis from Madison Heights, Hazel Park on the east side of Oakland County to Bloomfield Hills, Pontiac, and into Commerce and Wixom on the west side of Oakland County. And you see Harris signs and you see Trump signs, but you do not see Jill Stein signs. And that is certainly not to underestimate in a very close election with some fracturing. And obviously this abandoned movement is national, and it does have some traction here in Michigan. It could make a difference. But I'm a proud Democrat. And I think what you saw at the Democrat National Convention, an exciting, vibrant, inclusive convention that brought together our party from all 50 states and other voting blocs. Look, we're on the right side of issues when it comes to women's rights, when it comes to the economy, delivering for advanced manufacturing and our supply chains, not causing these disruptions like what happened during the COVID-19 pandemic and when Donald Trump threatened my governor to not give her the supply she needed to fight back on COVID, putting our whole economy into disarray. We've been rebuilding. We're competing at the world stage, on the world stage, in new innovations and new mobilities. And all Donald Trump does is fearmonger. Kamala Harris presents a vision for the future. She was just in Flint saying, I'm going to invest in you. I believe Flint, Michigan is going to vote for Kamala Harris, not the other guy.